Now let's create the accelerated method. Let's see if we can do this. And we're probably going to put in the book value again. So let's put that in now. And make sure that's wide enough. So my annual depreciation for this, I decided as an estimate that this is going to depreciate at 2.25 times the straight line rate. So I'm going to take my book value, and at the very beginning of the year, my book value is the original cost. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go get that value, that original book value of the asset, right when I put it on the cost. And then I'm going to multiply that times my straight line rate. And my straight line rate is 1/8. So we're going to multiply that times 1 divided by 8. Right? Now I'm not taking out residual value, and you'll see why as when we get to the end. And I believe that this is going to, this asset on an accelerated basis is 2.25 times. Right? So this, I'm going to multiply this times 2.25. Right? That's my acceleration factor. And that gives me 5.6 million. Now you can see how different this is versus the straight line depreciation. And again, I'm going to get these, make sure the zeros are gone here. Beautiful. Okay. So then my accumulated depreciation is going to be, well, let's go through and fill this in, and then we'll do the accumulated depreciation. Well, I have to actually do the accumulated depreciation now. So the accumulated depreciation this year is going to be that number, very simply. And so therefore the book value is going to be equal to the original cost of the asset minus my accumulated depreciation. So that's my new book, that's my book value, 14,375,000. Then when I do the next year, I'm going to keep the same formula. Book value times the straight line rate times my acceleration factor. But now my book value this year, I used the 20 million because that was the book value at the very beginning. That's not the case anymore. My book value is now down to 14,375,000. So we're going to put in equals my book value, the new book value, so this is the book value for this year, times my straight line rate of 1 divided by 8 times my acceleration factor. My and right, we see that year over year my depreciation is going down, right? Because it's an asymptotic slope. It's that little, if you recall, it's that little, the second year less than the first year, third less than the second year, on and on and on. So we're going to go through and we're going to say, okay, well, what's our accumulated depreciation now? My accumulated depreciation is going to be equal to this plus last year's accumulated depreciation. Very similar to the formula we used here. And my new book value is going to be equal to, I can still go back to the 20 million. Minus my accumulated depreciation. That's what the new book value is equal to. So what I'm going to do here, so I can copy and paste all these formulas, is I'm going to put a absolute reference there. That's good. And that's good, right? All of these things I should now be able to copy these 3 cells all the way down to year 8. And that should give me my full depreciation schedule. Right? So let's take a look at what we got. So year 1 depreciation, 5.6, down to 4, down to 3, down to 2, 1.5, 1, 775, 557. The total amount of accumulated depreciation I have here is 18,575, a little bit less than this. And you notice that I didn't have to factor in the residual value when I was doing this particular table, because we got pretty close to it just using this accelerated method. So this looks like, visually, it would be very similar to the chart that I did before, where it's asymptotic. This looks like a straight line process as the book value declines. Here the book value declines at a different type of rate.